Hi Aries, welcome to your end of April 2019 general tarot reading. It's Raina here. I started this series of readings with Libra, so I thought, well, I'll do the opposite sign of Aries because I did get your sign for their reading. So if you're dealing with a Libra person, that might be what's going on. Also, we are having a full moon at 29 degrees of Libra, so that can definitely affect your relationship sector in a big way. This is a general reading, so that would depend upon the degree that you have. Okay. The heart of the matter is the Knight of Cups. This is an offer that is presented to you. The proverbial white knight. Offering love, offering a job that you love, okay? A job that you want, something that you're not just going through the motions. Aries oftentimes is accused of not finishing what they've started. But I think that the chances of you finishing what you started are greatly improved when you're doing something that you love. Then you lose yourself in it. And the self is also so strong with Aries that it becomes something more than an ego expression. It becomes really your enthusiasm for life itself really shining through and inspiring others. And this also for personal relationships, this is about that sense that somebody cares for you who is, cares for you at a deep level, emotional level. This could be, I don't know if this card is specifically associated with any water sign, but out of all three water signs, I don't know if I would say Pisces. The Page of Cups is associated with Pisces. Maybe Cancer. Not sure. But Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. The past position, we have the Three of Swords. So this is a card of feeling rejected by something in life. Feeling like unwanted. Like you were like rejected, and that feeling sucks. Whether you feel like your heart was broken because a relationship didn't work out, or that you simply don't know exactly why you were passed over for a promotion or fired, let go, probably like we would say laid off. And that feeling of they don't want me, feeling unwanted, that's not a good feeling. Let's just keep going. The higher message, but I'm saying, the point I'm trying to make is that the Knight of Cups is showing that the reason it had to happen is to make room for something that is much more compatible with you on the emotional, spiritual level. The higher message is the Queen of Pentacles. This can also be that what is coming up for you or where you're at right now is more domestic related. Maybe even if you are a woman, a female Aries, maybe this is your time to nest, to enjoy your home if you've worked your butt off for something. Maybe you're somebody in your mid-30s or late 30s, and you've been at your career for 10 years, 15 years, and you feel like you've put in a lot of effort. But you have a partner and you want to start a family. And this may work out perfectly, and you never would have left that job if you hadn't gotten laid off. So the universe may be working on your behalf, and you're just kind of like focusing on, oh, I got let go, I'm being rejected, I'm no good because I was rejected, and it has nothing to do with that. Even on the mundane level, it may have simply been last hired, first fired. You know what I mean? So you may be looking at it as a rejection of you, and they are simply trying to trim the budget, and you were the last one hired. But of course, you're so fabulous, Aries. How could they not realize that you are indispensable? Well, that's just how a lot of companies work. So you may, if you're a woman, be thinking, it's time, I want to have children. I'm in my mid or late 30s, and what do I do? And this may be the perfect time for you to kind of let go of that outer world, enjoy the comforts of your home, and start to, maybe you're going to have a couple of kids or so. And the thing is that this could also be that you are working from home, or that you have your own business too. But there's a sense of nurturing it. There's a sense of very personal kind of a situation. This is a double feminine energy, which is very personal to you, unique to you. And maybe that is another thing, because the Knight of Cups, I mean, this could be like something that is very much soul-based. So, and the soulpreneurship, they have to come up with a better, more clever term than that, because that's very awkward. Soulpreneur. I don't know. I can think of something, but not at this moment. Also, if you're an older woman, I don't want to say just a woman, it could be a man too. If you're an older Aries person, maybe you've been busting your butt for like 20 years, 30 years in your professional life, and this is coming along, and now you have time to enjoy your life more. Smell the roses. Queen of Pentacles could be like a gardener, but become a master gardener. What crosses you is the Fool card, which is a card that's associated with perhaps not knowing where you're being excessively cautious. Let me put it that way, which is not a. Why can't I talk? It's like all these thoughts are coming at me at once. Which is atypical for Aries. You are typically the type of person, like with the Fool card in the upright position, how that person is like looking upwards, and they're almost about to walk off a cliff because they just trust in the universe. And you have this courage, and now I'm starting to wonder if courage is actually trusting in the universe, is having that sense of like, hey, the universe has my back. Jump and a net will appear. I always like smile at that one, because even though I'm a Sag and I have Taurus rising, so I'm a little bit more cautious, and I'm a little bit more. I have a lot of Earth. I have the Moon in Virgo, so I'm kind of like, okay, yeah, but what about if the net was improperly made? I don't want to break my neck, that kind of thing. So it's like you may be a little bit uneasy about the uncertainty of things right now. And you may even be saying that to yourself. Why am I so spooked right now? And probably the reason, Aries, is because you have come out of this last, I would say like 7-8 years of Uranus in your sign, where you may have had all these curveballs thrown at you. I know personally, Aries people who have just been, changing their life up. I know somebody that is from my area, moved, an Aries person, moved from the Midwest to the Southwest, moved back to the Chicago area because the food is he wanted more variety of food. With Chicago, we do have that. People come here, food tourists, but is going back to that area, going back to the southwest. So you know, and I am not surprised, and the reason is because when you leave a place, even if you're not happy in the new place, going back to the old place is not going to necessarily work. There's that saying, you can't enter the same river twice. And that's just that, you know, the river is constantly changing, your life is constantly changing, and what you remember about that old life, it left when you left. So, and same thing with relationships. You're not the same person in a relationship that you are the first time you leave. So even reuniting with somebody and having that sense of, oh God, this is so great, you're going to be different people. And that's okay. Thankfully, we are constantly evolving. So you may be gun shy. You may have had some unexpected changes that didn't necessarily go the way you planned. You also have Pluto in Capricorn squaring off to your sun or rising sign, and that is going to be the 4th house. I'm sorry, that's the 10th house for Capricorn. And that, there you go. I mean, the 10th house, I mean, with Pluto there, South Node, Saturn in the 10th house. Saturn, I think, is great, though, in the 10th house. It's a house that rules. But still, it's a lot of change. But to me, it's almost like an internalized change on on the outer stage. So it's kind of like an awkward thing because you're changing and everybody can see that you're changing. In terms of how you want to show up in the world, okay? And so yeah, I mean, there's a lot going on, and you may be like, I don't want any more surprises. And the Fool, you know, that's kind of like that spontaneity, and that it's interesting. The Fool card is connected to Uranus. Oh, hey, there you go. I wasn't even thinking in terms of that when I was talking about the recent transit of Uranus in Aries. And the thing about it is, it's now gone, and so you've moved on, but you may now it's in your 2nd house of earned income. So that may be in and of itself a trip and a half, because you may be like, okay, now my finances are like kind of all over the place, but they can be all over the place in a good way. I mean, you could just have massive gains. So if you think about it that way, it can be awesome. The advice is the 10 of Swords, which is like looking at this betrayal. This might be at the heart of everything that we're talking about with the 3 of Swords, where you feel like your heart has been broken by somebody. Maybe somebody really betrayed you. And that is what hurts so much. It's not so much that you didn't get the promotion, but that you feel somebody else may have kind of poisoned the well and did something Machiavellian behind the scenes. And you're just like really let down by that, because as an Aries person, you're pretty straightforward. I mean, people can criticize Aries as being brash, aggressive, you know, maybe even controlling. But one thing you're not is sneaky, like, oh, I didn't get that. That was the last reading I did for Libra was the 7 of Swords, or if I had gotten the 5 of Swords. You're not like that. And you just, you know, what you see is what you get. And that's why some people can't handle you, because you don't have that artifice. Well, I will alter that. If your sun is in Aries, and let's say you have Cancer rising or Libra rising or something like that, you may give the appearance of being all sweetness and light, and and you're a lot tougher than people know, and a lot more brash than they know. You know, if you have Libra rising or Cancer or Pisces, you may kind of have this sugary coating to you, but there's like it's like Red Hots, those candies, Red Hots. There's like a sugary coating, but if you keep sucking on it, you get that heat, you know, that heat can come up. So in any case, boy, my mind takes me in interesting places. The outcome is the Hierophant, and this is a card that's associated with, you know, tradition and also groups. So that could even be like a corporate environment. And I'm thinking, like, if you're doing something where you are doing something on your own, you can take advantage of, if you have come from a corporate environment, you might have a lot of networking that you can do. Also, in relationships, for instance, this is about marriage, okay? This is about kind of like that traditional relationship. And it might be simply saying to you, you know, you are somebody who benefits from perhaps looking at what the end game is for you. So with the Knight of Cups, this might be somebody that you can really spend the rest of your life with. And maybe you were with somebody who was fun in a very kind of passionate way, but it wasn't really, you know, looking at it from the long-term perspective. And maybe you need to like start to think about that, because this person, this card is connected to Taurus. So also, you know, interestingly, even like for career matters or work matters, you are going to have a new moon in that Taurus second house of earned income in May 4th. So that might be the time when the corner is turned and you're earning money in a totally new place. This can be good for your self-esteem. The second house can be your self-esteem. You raise your self-esteem in some way. Yeah, I mean, the other thing too is being able to, like, again, with the marriage, this is like conventional life. With the Queen of Pentacles, you maybe want to be a stay-at-home mother for a while. Stay-at-home parent, I guess you could just make it more universal. And yes, you are a doer, and you're very, you have a lot of energy. So you may be like, oh, I can't stay at home. That would be too confining. But you may be able to find a way to make it work. And that it's really kind of in alignment with where you're at in other ways. So, especially if this is something where you have not been happy and you got laid off. It's like, okay, you feel like rejected, but you weren't happy there anyway. So maybe you should trust in the universe after all, huh? Okay, that's what I have for you, Aries. I hope that you enjoyed this. And if you'd like a personal reading, please click the link below. Take care. Bye.